UFC Fight Night, Garcia versus Onama. Andy and Jim here from Winning in the Shadows are going to break down each fight. It's not a great card, so Jim has come up with an amazing, I don't want to call it a gimmick, but it's just, so Jim, explain what we're going to do with each fight here.
Well, we all know what the October month of MMA has been. It has been like every fighter, every fight has walked under a ladder, has seen a black cat, has broken a mirror, has picked up a penny tails up. I mean, it's just bad luck up, down, left, and right. So instead of us trying to pick a good breakdown, which we are still going to do, but
of course,
we're going to try to pick the most outlandish, blow everybody's bed out of the water, just weird thing that could happen for each fight. I feel like if we would have done this over the past couple of weeks, we probably would have got a few right. So it'll be a fun thing to play with here. Let's see if we can talk ourselves off some bets and on some bets. Having a little fun.
All right, let's go. So let's go over the weirdness. I went through the last few cards. It really is. We've never seen a run like this. Okay, so Cyril Gahn forgets his cup. Then he proceeds to double eye poke Aspinall, and we get a no contest in one of the most anticipated main events. Chris Barnett's shorts fall down, and he moons the announcers. Ludovic Klein breaks his ankle, can't stand up at the end of the fight, which I still say that should have been a Rebecca win. You can't stand up. You can't, but whatever. He gets his hand raised while he's sitting on a stool, proceeded to get taken to the hospital for surgery. Ranier de Ridder quits in the fourth round. Turns out he had neurovirus. Holland gets kicked in the balls so bad he says he can't continue, and they just somehow make him fight. Mm-hmm. Nelson Frivola, is that the one where the ref stops the fight and then randomly restarts it again? Yeah. Propola gets hit in the balls, and they let him kind of recover, but they let Drew Dober completely recover so Drew Dober can knock him out. Montel Jackson has the biggest deer in headlights performance I believe I've ever seen on the big stage. Like, have you ever seen a UFC?
Just keep in mind, we're 3 cards back when we get to Montel Jackson. That's how long this has been going on for.
And then, remember the ref refusing to stop the Luque-Alvarez fight?
Yes.
And then he lets Alvarez literally sit on Luque's head for the entire third round. But, like, these are the weirdest things that we've had happen. So I went a little different. I went over the top bizarro on these. But we're going to have some fun tonight because some of these fights are just pretty bad. But we're here to pick some winners. All right, we're going to start with...
Talk about getting teed up right out the gate. We got Alencar and Carnelossi.
All right, so we got Alencar and Carnelossi. The floor is yours, Jim. What do you make of this fight?
All right, let's get serious for a second here about the breakdown. The biggest question for me here is 2 things. It's one on either side. It's Alencar's cardio, and it's Carnelossi's willingness to fight. She will take the easy way out any possible way that she can. She will Eddie Guerrero her way through an MMA fight. She will lie, cheat, and steal, and make no bones about it. That is Carnelossi. The physicality edge should be on Carnelossi, but she's at such a poor level of skill. She reminds me of Hannah Goldie, where you just look at her like, God, she should be so good, but like the skill set's just not there. I would say the biggest disparity, it's probably Alencar's got the more skill, but that cardio going into the third just absolutely terrifies me. Now, that being said, Carnelossi's not a cardio monster herself at this point, but these are 2 not hot prospects that I am not jonesing to bet by any means. Their wins are very soft. I honestly haven't. I would say do not bet this fight. I know we had talked the other day, like just blindly take the freaking underdog in these really low-level, bottom-of-the-barrel and women's MMA fights. This fight will not get an absolute penny of my money, but I have a good method for our funky stuff play of the week here.
I lean Alencar because I think she can take Carnelossi down. Carnelossi's, this 15-3 is about as bad as a 15-3 record gets. She beat Na Liang, Estela Nunes. Yeah, Piera Rodriguez, she wins because of the intentional headbutts. I will say this. She did get intentionally headbutt. Like, Piera Rodriguez deserved to get disqualified for that. But never forget Pierre Rodriguez was on top of Carnelossi, mushing her head in there. I just think it's Alencar. She's not great, but her background in grappling cannot be denied, and that's her path to victory. And Carnelossi's so stiff. I actually think she's kind of easy to take down at this point. Like, she doesn't have the speed and the flexibility. Like, she looks powerful, but have you really seen it? Like, your comparison to Hannah Goldie was pretty good. So I think Alencar can take her down and eke out. I fight goes the distance. That's the way I'd be playing it. Who finishes who in this one? So it's Alencar, but if you said you have to bet something on this one, it's just fight goes the distance. So, all right, what's your weird thing that can happen in this fight?
Okay, so I am going to say that we're going to have some shenanigans on the Carnelossi side. She is going to, here's my prediction. She will shoot a very, very sloppy shot. And when she shoots said sloppy shot, she's going to smash her face on the floor, which then is going to stand up, and we're going to see a knockout. We're going to see Carnelossi get knocked out from a poor shot that gets stuffed, or she gets taken down and she's rocked, and the referee stands them up, or she stands up, or Alencar stands up. This is going to be a knockout. It's going to blow out the overs. That's done. And submission, Alencar by submission, which everyone thinks will be easy money, not going to be so easy. The weirdest thing that could happen in this fight is going to be an Alencar knockout.
See, you went way different with the. You went like
it's only the first one. We could get
you went realistic thing. So here's my prediction. One of the judges actually falls asleep in the third round, and the ref makes the fighters start the round over so the judges can watch a full round of them laying on top of each other.
Oh boy, you went this.
Okay. I have that where a judge actually falls asleep in the middle of a fight, and they make the fighters start over again.
Fun fact that happened to me at a tournament once.
Did it really?
Swear to God, corner ref fell asleep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. We move on to Phil Rowe and Seokyeon Ko. What do you think?
Can't bet Phil Rowe. Absolutely cannot bet Phil Rowe. Again, all the skills in the world, but does not have it from the neck up, and that's something that I really just have to focus in on at this point. With all the shenanigans going on in MMA, you can't bet these guys with bad IQ. You just absolutely can't. He beats Ange Lusa, but Ange Lusa is really talk about a guy that people were hyped about and just fell off a cliff. Doesn't even look like he wanted to be a fighter. So we go to Ko. I think Ko's a legit prospect, man. It's a rarity to say that coming out of the region. It's a rarity to say that coming off of, I believe, Rowe to UFC, right? Or was he straight through Contender?
He was straight. He was on Contender Series. So, remember he fought this Cavalcanti, which we knew nothing about. We knew nothing about this Cavalcanti guy.
He gets the decision against Oban. Good win. I'm just not going to bet Phil Rowe, man. He makes whatever you think Phil Rowe should do, he's going to do the absolute opposite. It's like he's got one of those camps that's like, I know what we can. We could jab this guy to death because we're huge, and we could just win a decision. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to work on our single leg takedown. That's the type of coaching that you get from Phil Rowe. Or we're going to clinch with Neil Magny. What a great idea. So I'm not betting Phil Rowe. I am probably going to have a bet on Ko in some way, shape, or form. I do believe that if this fight goes to decision, I think that's probably your safest bet is the over 2.5. I don't see Phil Rowe getting a finish. And I don't know if I see Ko getting a finish. He might struggle with the length of Rowe a little bit here. If he ends up on the ground, those long limbs of Phil Rowe can help him. So give me Ko by decision.
I lean Ko as well. It's terrifying when you're betting an Asian fighter who depends on wrestling, grappling, and clinch. Like, absolutely terrifying. I like this performance on Contender Series. Remember, Cavalcanti came out and was just swinging like an absolute madman. And Ko was like, you know what? I'm not going to finish this guy because he's just too wild, and I want to stay out of danger. And so he won the decision, and then I predicted this against Oban Elliott. I believe he was an underdog against Elliott. I said, he's going to get the takedown. Elliott just thinks too much. And Ko put on a clinic. It was really, really good. I love the man's patience. I love he sets up his attacks. And his attacks are takedowns and clinches. This is not a big-time striking guy. But I'm with you on Phil Rowe. Here's the thing. he was losing till he wasn't against Lusa. Lusa was beating him, and Lusa, like, hard adrenaline dump gas. Before that, losing to Jake Matthews, losing to Magny. Congratulations, beating Nico Price and Jason Witt. Awesome. I'm with you that it's I'm probably not going to get to the window because I just can't wrap my head around these Asian grapplers, wrestlers having long-term success. That being said, can Rowe grapple? Like, he does do a lot of grappling. Like, he was at Karate Combat in June of 24. He was at Fury Pro Grappling. He does these grappling, things. This is the guy that, messed around with Gordon Ryan there, for a little bit. So he can hang, but he just doesn't seem to have the motivation. Like, when have you seen him where it was like, oh, man, this guy came to play? Oh, Phil Rowe looks great in the first round. It's like he just depends on his opponent messing up or getting tired, and I just don't think Ko is that guy. So Ko is going to be the pick. It's not a fight I'm going to bet on one way or the other. So, all right, what's your weird thing that happens in this one?
I thought about this one. I think I got a pretty clear, concise. This is one that could actually hit. Phil Rowe gets taken down. Ko is on top. Phil Rowe proceeds to grab the cage, put his toes in the cage, constantly grabbing the cage, and all the referee continues to do is say, stop grabbing the cage, stop grabbing the cage, stop grabbing the cage. Somehow this is going to end up allowing Phil Rowe to stand up, and when he stands up, he's going to land a knee or elbow in the clinch and knock out Ko. Meanwhile, we had 7 warnings for the fence grab.
This is the fence
But we don't take points away in MMA. All we do is say shame, shame all the time.
Okay, this is good. I have a point gets taken away. I have the random Ko is winning. Everyone's bet Ko, and he gets a point taken away because the corner poured too much water on him and the mat is wet. And then the fight ends in a draw, and everyone loses because they randomly took a point away for too much water on the mat. That's what I have as the weirdness. All right, we got. It's not the fight.
We've seen water on the mat. We've seen the ice skate. Everyone remembers ice skate with Joe Rogan.
That's what I mean. We've seen this before. That one's not out of the realm of possibility. All right, Montserrat Ruiz and Alice Ardelean. Jim, you really love Ardelean on this spot, right?
I do. Words that I never thought I would say in an MMA fight is, I'm betting on Alice Ardelean. And I am betting on Alice Ardelean. This girl came into the UFC as, I don't want to go as far to say a clown show, but she made her way into the UFC. What was she? 9-6? Like, I think she had 2 fights, right?
Yeah, she wasn't. She wasn't good.
Yeah, she wasn't a highly touted prospect, and the whole reason she came in was the Instagram followers, and it was kind of like who she knew, not what she knew. They throw her right to Shauna Bannon, get Shauna Bannon to win. But, I follow Alice on Instagram. Not for the reasons everybody thinks, you weirdos, okay? And I do get her humor. I got to admit, I think she is kind of funny with some of it.
She's pretty funny.
But this girl works really hard. She works really hard. When she's not posting goofy-ass videos, she's in the gym. Her physical build has gotten better since her initial run in the UFC when she first got here. I think she's more serious about her career. I would think that she got a little bit more money than what she was working with. It didn't have to be so sideshowy. Full-time commitment as a fighter, no side hustle, no nothing. I don't constitute making a funny face on a provocative video to be a side hustle. You're just kind of posting. On the flip side, we have Montserrat Ruiz, who's way too small for this weight class, has extremely basic wrestling. I know we're going to talk about she's a national champion. Please show me where she won her national championship. I want to see the girls that she wrestled against to win a national championship in wrestling. Please find me those fighters. She has a gimmick as well. She comes out with the bunny ears and the bunny tail. So it's kind of lazy to look at Alice and be like, she's not a real fighter, when across the way we have a woman that won 1 fight against Cheyenne Velismus because she just sat there on the bottom and did nothing. But you have Alice, who's actually working in the gym. I think Ardelean is a slam dunk to parlay. I'm that bullish on it. And I'll tell you now, a sprinkle on Ardelean by finish is very interesting. Because if this is on the feet, there is zero striking from Ruiz. And we've seen Ruiz block punches with her face. I wouldn't be surprised to see a cut stoppage. After she goes for that one takedown that she's going to get, she's going to be useless, and it's going to be one-way traffic for Ardelean, and I see her ending up in a very dominant position if it does go to the ground in 2 and 3.
Yeah, I'll make
Go
this.
ahead. Tell me I'm crazy.
No, just Ruiz has to get it to the ground. We've seen this before. If you have a women's fighter that can get it to the ground and hold her there, it can win a round. It can win a couple rounds. Hell, it can win you, a fight. But can Ruiz do it against Ardelean? I think Ardelean might be just too big. And at 5'3", that says a lot. But she gets back up when she gets taken down, and you're right. She just needs to land a few of those punches, and Ruiz is just not going to want anything to do with it. I mean, it is kind of a... It shows they make her fight Amanda Lemos after Velismas. Then we don't see her for a while. She fights Amarim, who looked bad in her last fight, but Amarim finishes. And then Eduardo Moro, who's like 3 times her size. So it's kind of been a rough stretch. But now you get just a pure striker, and I'm not sure that Ruiz... I've changed my mind on this. I thought there was going to be a chance that maybe Ruiz takes her down, but you're right. I went and looked at Alice's Instagram, and yeah, she's working her ass off. She's working really, really hard, and you kind of know what you have to do against Ruiz. If just block the takedown. If you do get taken down, just get back up. She's not that strong, so the pick is...
The only way she gets takedowns either is from a clinch. It's not a single leg, double leg takedown. It's that really low level head and arm throw. And
yeah,
that works
you're not
once in a fight. Like, it really doesn't work 2 times, 3 times from there. Usually it gets reversed by the opponent after they've seen it once.
Yeah, you're not going to confuse Ruiz with Daniel Cormier in his prime takedowns or wrestling. So, all right, what do you have weirdness going on in this one? I got a great one.
Oh, this is my DQ. This is my no contest, no doubt about it. Ruiz shoots in. She gets the takedown in round 1. Doesn't happen. She gets up, gets a breaks beat off her on the feet, shoots a sloppy takedown in 2, and Ardelean's doing those hammer fists. Oh. And then you hear Mr. Smith right there, back of the head, stop the fight. And Ruiz puts on the acting class that gets her a Grammy, where she's totally fine and can't walk and has to be carried out of the cage. And this is going to be Ruiz by DQ. She's going to win by DQ.
All right. I think my favorite part about that is that she's going to win a Grammy, which is a music award. And you're right. That would be the weird. I think you meant Oscar, but...
Sorry. I'm trying to keep up with your weirdness. I'm going to go crazy.
Okay. I have Ruiz wears the shirt. She comes out in the shirt. Okay. It rips. The corner has to come in and cut part of it off because it ripped. Cormier makes a Janet Jackson joke. Ardelean hears it and starts laughing and turns and tries to join in the fun and flashes Cormier right as the ref starts the fight. And Ruiz KOs her when she's not paying attention. Now she's knocked out and topless. And guess what? It's her most viral post on her Instagram.
Oh, true. It's true.
It's a loss but a win for Alice Ardelean, who has...
She retires from fighting after this.
I mean, she's almost to 1 million Instagram followers. Alice Ardelean's almost to 1 million. Oh, my God. What a world. All right, we go to... we go to Ketlin Vieira and Norma Dumont. My favorite part about Norma Dumont is how Paul from Bookie Beatdown calls her Big Norm because she would always miss weight. So every time she fights, he's like, Big Norm fighting. It makes me laugh every single time. Shout out to them. We got an interesting fight here. Ketlin Vieira and Norma Dumont. How do you see this fight going down?
Well, okay, who's going to miss weight? You want to do side bet? Who miss weights here?
They're both going to make weight.
They're both going to miss weight.
No, they're both going to make it. Come on.
Okay, we'll get to the weird thing. I like Dumont. I like Dumont a lot. It's now or never for her at this point. They're both starting to get up there in age. kind of does enough to win. It's always like it's one of those things where like you during the fight you're like if you bet Norma Dumont you're just nervous as hell. If you didn't bet her, you're like why didn't I bet? And then they read the scorecards and it's a split, but she ekes it out every damn time. And it's like we always say, Andy, we can give these fighters all kinds of crap, but there's one thing we can't argue with, and that's the record. All Norma does is win. She just wins. I don't care how it is. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah, it's in horrible fights. She couldn't finish Chelsea Chandler, who was trying to run away from her literally like a stalker. She was
Danielle
out of
Wolf.
there. I know. But, again, she just wins. Ketlin Vieira on the other side. I don't know with this girl, man. She's hot and cold. She's just always hot and cold, hot and cold. She survives against Harrison. Was that more Harrison just doing what she had to do to win than Vieira, really like, oh, wow, she really stuffed. No, Kayla was in control of that fight from start to finish. From start to finish. Really was not in that much jeopardy. And that threw us off the scent with Kayla Harrison going forward, how brutal she could really be. We saw that against Juliana Pena when the belt was on the line, what Kayla could be. And if I remember correctly, that wasn't even Kayla with the dietitian, everything set, and she was kind of getting her feet wet. Macy Chasson, what did we just see with Macy? We just saw Macy get her butt whooped by Yana Kunitskaya for 3 rounds. It wasn't even close. Was not close. So these wins for her are not good. These losses are not good. She's losing to girls that she shouldn't be losing to in the fashion that she is if she's going to be a ranked contender, number 4. So the fact she's ranked ahead of Norm already has me confused. I think this is Norma Dumont. It's by decision. Don't overthink it. Just play it. It continues to cash.
Yeah, Norma, we saw her put the huge cut on Aldana with the striking. But before that, against Randomy, like she gets the takedowns. And you're right, it's like a little of everything from her. And yeah, you're right. She's not the super exciting fighter, but she just does enough to win. Does she need to strike? Okay, she'll go out and strike and beat Aldana and strike. Does she need takedowns? All right, Randomy, but I'll take her down. And so I'm with you. It's Norma Dumont as the official pick. I don't love it. I think it goes the distance because it's a Norma Dumont fight. But you're right. If you're going to play Norma, don't play by finish. Just play Norma by decision. You'll save yourself a little bit of money. I don't know what the script is going to be because we watched Ketlin Vieira take Macy down. I don't think she can do it to Norma, but boy, I could see some long stretches on the ground. Like whoever gets the takedown and ends up on top, who's getting up? I don't know. So it's Norma by decision. It's not a super confident pick.
I find it real interesting that her decision wins have been unanimous because I don't believe they should have been unanimous.
That's
They
interesting.
were very, very close fights. So the judges love Norm. They love Big Norm.
Yeah.
The
only one she lost was the split against Macy. Other than that, it's
Yeah.
just been, a slew of
To
wins.
have unanimous decisions that many times in the women's division, you're doing something
Yeah.
right that the judges love. Something.
Yeah. All right, what's your weird thing that happens?
Okay. This one's fun. So we have Norm and Ketlin. Round 2, the crowd is booing so much. Norma gets a takedown. She's on top, and the crowd is just booing and booing. And then they stand up again, and there's clinching against the fence, and the crowd is booing and booing and booing. And we get to a point where we get a judge to fall asleep in the corner. It's funny that we both had people.
Oh,
that
wow,
fall
we
asleep.
both had Judge falls asleep. Okay.
We find out that we end up going to a sketchy decision, and we have video evidence of one of the judges like this, looking at his phone or dozing off or turned around talking to Dana White or somebody else, and that just goes viral when it's the absolute worst decision, and it was an obvious pick for Norma. Caitlin's going to win 29-28.
Okay, so you and I are on the same page. I have Norma's beating Vieira. She's dominating control time, dominating strikes landed. Vieira's beat up. The fight ends. Norma throws her hands in the air, looks into the camera, and calls for a title fight, and then promptly loses a split decision.
Oh, I love that one. That could really happen.
That's actually
That could really happen. That's
I want you, Kayla Harris. And then Judge Mike Bell has it. And you're like, oh, God, here we go. Norman's not winning this one.
I like that one.
All right, we move on to Dante Johnson and Cedric Dumas. For you guys that watched us on Tuesdays, you know one of the most valuable things about Tuesday is that we do write-ups on all these fighters that get contracts. And so here's our write-up from Dante Johnson. Elite athlete, undersized for heavyweight. This man was weighed in at 260. He's fighting at 185 this week. Good kicks, a lot of adversity growing up seems to fuel him. If you remember his backstory, we love that about him. Incredible power. He struggled with the range of a taller and bad fighter. Does that ring a bell with Cedric Dumas? No clue about wrestling, no clue about cardio, and that means we don't know about his wrestling and his cardio because he hasn't been outside of round one. We really haven't seen his wrestling, so we don't know a whole lot about him. But a lot to like about him, man. We like Dante Johnson. We made money on him on Contender Series. Do we make money on him against Cedric Dumas? What do you think?
I'm buying in on Deontay Johnson.
Okay.
There's something about this kid. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is. But there's something about the way that he carries himself around the cage and what I've heard from other people who are close to him, how he carries himself. He carries himself like a professional. And I know he only has 6 pro fights. But if we go down to his amateur experience, that's a good amount of amateur fights. So, yeah, 6-0, but he really is 11-0. You know,
no, he lost one.
11
one.
pro fights, should we say. Lost one. Tasted adversity. Good thing as well. Like you said, nothing really comes easy for him, but he just works right through it. On the opposite side, so here we have somebody who's done way more with their life than what they were given to start, right? Then on the flip side, we have somebody who has done way less than they should have with the skills and opportunities given. I'm betting Johnson. If either one of these guys is going to show up with their head screwed on straight, it's Johnson. To look back at that Zachary Reese fight with Dumas and be like, oh, well, he was tuning him up before, he got the low blow. Was he, though? Go back and watch that fight, man. It was a garbage fight, both of those guys. And one thing we do know about Dumas in round 2 and round 3 is his cardio does suck. So we might not know about Johnson, but could it be worse than Dumas's? The range is a bit of a worry. That's why I'm glad we have those nights, the notes, which is another reason why you guys should tune in next Contender Series on Tuesdays, because those notes are valuable. But I haven't seen Dumas be able to really jab and move and keep that range for an extended period of time. I think it's just a matter of time before the middleweight Johnson, instead of the heavyweight Johnson, gets inside and lands a pretty wicked shot on Dumas. I'm a little worried about the method. I think they both could be tired in round 2, but I think Johnson's safe to parlay. I really like him this week. There's just something about this kid. I think he's going to be way better than people think going forward.
Yeah, when they did the video package on Contender Series and we heard about what his upbringing was, we were like, oh, we love guys like this. And then he went out and left no doubt about it. Yeah, when you're betting on a fighter that's never been out of the first round, it's tough. But, man, this guy has power. He has got the touch of death in those strikes. And, yeah, Dumas, I think Dumas did the right thing. No, I'm not fighting. I got kicked in the nards.
I agree.
Agree. And it was a brutal one. Like, you go back and watch it, there's nobody that's arguing he got hit hard. But, he fights a striker, and Olika Sejcek loses. Come on, fights the corpse of Dennis Tululin. The Ruzaboyev. There's another circus one where he gets poked in the eye. Troubles outside of the octagon, not really smart inside the octagon. Yeah, he's one of those guys that just doesn't live up to the potential because physically, man, he's a specimen. If he got his head on straight and got the right gym and got the right, attitude, the guy would be a world beater. But I'm with you. I'm with you on Dante Johnson, and it's terrifying taking Contender Series debutantes. But we've seen a few of them do well. I think he's one of them. So I'll put my money behind Dante Johnson. I'll go first on this one. This is hilarious that you mentioned Mark Smith. I have Johnson knocks down Dumas, goes for the ground and pound. His fingernail grazes the back of Dumas's head. Dumas says he can't continue. Mark Smith DQs Johnson, and now the UFC has to give Dumas another fight. Dana's just like, are you serious? We gave Zach Reese one assignment. Get Dumas out of there. Mark Smith DQs Johnson, just a la Cody Brundage. What do you have for the weird one?
Dumas misses weight, first of all. Just like, okay, how many mistakes can we make before the cage? Dumas misses weight. He unfortunately has to call the same weed dealer that he did when he said he got doped up before the fight, that he thought his weed was laced, right? So we're in Vegas again, right? He ends up having to go to the same weed guy. It just ends up being way too stoned and just misses the fight entirely. He's 10 minutes late, doesn't show up. Fights ruled a no contest because bets are void. Bets are void. The whole purpose of this for me is to get to where bets are void.
This is great. Dumas gets so stoned he misses the fight.
He says that he was given some laced weed and just fell asleep. That's it.
This is
a little
great.
nappy nap. That's it.
So great. All right, we move on to Timmy Cuamba and Chang Li. Before we do that, real quick, guys, we got a couple of things. UFC Best Bet is up. We got one play that we really like. Last weekend, we only had one small play, and it was a disaster. We bet on Maxim, who not only lost but got cut. So it's never a good week when you bet on a guy who loses and then gets cut. But, hey, we'll tell you when we win. We'll tell you when we lose. So that's 2 straight losses in a row after a really big slew of UFC wins and Contender Series wins. So we're back at it. We got one play that we really like. That is up. And then I know this is a UFC show, guys. I'm telling you, our NFL props have been absolutely lights out. We're coming off an 8-4 week. That's 57% winners for the year. Our goal was 58%. That's a pretty big number, and we're almost there. So what we do is we put one pack up. It gets you all of our NFL props. And it starts Thursday night, goes all the way through Monday Night Football. So even if you're watching this after Thursday, you're going to get all of our Sunday, all of our Monday bits. This has been one of the bright spots for us this year. We took a pretty new approach this year, and it has been working splendidly. So coming off an 8-4 week, I believe that's 3 winning weeks in a row on NFL. We're seeing the board really well. We're seeing the trends really well. We've got our spots picked out. So go grab that. It's only $19. You get every single play that's for the week. We do put the individual plays up for sale. Just get the pack. Just get the pack and you're going to get all the plays. So UFC Best Bet is up, but if you want me to tell you what we've been winning at recently, it's been NFL. These props have been dynamite. So, all right, we move on to Timmy Cuamba and Chang Ho Lee. I had such high hopes for Timmy Cuamba, and he just has not come to fruition in UFC. That being said, pretty impressive knockout. I thought he looked better in his last fight. It is against a bad opponent, but you're grasping. I'm grasping for straws for something to say positive about Cuamba, because this is a guy that, he looked good on Contender Series. He doesn't. He goes to Tough Enough, and they bring him in against Oki. Doesn't look good. It really looks terrible against Almeida, but he's a kickboxer. And he at least showed some takedown defense, and he showed some explosion, which is what he was missing in these first 2 fights. I know he's got the talent. I know he's got the physical skills. It's just, where's the explosion? Where's the aggression? Where's the, I'm going to push the forward pressure. If he does that, I think he beats Chang Ho Lee. But that being said, it's just not a guy I can put money on. This is just going to be a complete pass for me. I cannot get a read on Cuamba. I thought he was going to be good in UFC, and then he disappointed, but then he gets a knockout. I have no read on this fight whatsoever. Do you?
Well, Cuamba moving down in weight already has me off it. Also, he's never fought at this weight. This isn't like, I fought at this weight when I made my debut and my pro debut. He's never fought at this weight. So that is a massive, massive, massive question mark. We've seen that go many different ways, dropping down in weight. So we have the more natural Ho Lee that's going to be accustomed to this. I don't know what we're going to get from Cuamba. I fear that this drop down in weight is going to lessen his skills. Timmy kind of gets in firefights. and dropping down in weight. I don't think he's going to become some murderous power puncher just by moving down in weight. He's never really been a power puncher. He lands the beautiful knee. That's great. But that's not something you can bank on every single fight. He's not going to be like the Walter Walker heel hook where now he's just going to knee 5 guys in a row and set that record. I really kind of have no bet here. I don't think there's anything worth betting on. I would be looking at this fight to go. That Timmy maybe gets a little bit tired in round 2. And Lee's no monster. He's not going to hit hard enough to really put out one-shot power. I will say this. If you have the ability to bet decision live, right, if this looks like it's going to start round 2, it's going the distance. It's going the distance. This is one of those ugly, boring fights that goes the distance. So I'd be looking at a live bet after round 1. Bet fight goes.
Yeah, Lee is going to try takedowns. You know that. His striking is pretty rudimentary, so Cuamba just needs to stuff a few takedowns, and it should be Cuamba all day. But you said it first, I don't know what I'm going to get from Cuamba.
No idea.
That just says it all. We don't know what we're getting from Cuamba. It's a stay away. This fight just, there's no way you can tell me you have a great read on this fight, and you know what's going to happen. So, all right, what do you have for the weird thing that happens in this one?
Oh, this is a good one. This is the judges and the refs hate Asians theory. just absolutely hate the poor Asian market fighters. Absolutely blatant eye poke and knockout from Cuamba. Cuamba pokes him in the eye. Ref doesn't see it. Here comes the elbow from hell or the knee from hell, and it puts Lee out. And then we go back, and then Lee's sitting there going, and we have to go back to replay. And who's it going to be this time? We'll go Keith Peterson. Well, I called it in the moment. I can't go back and reverse it now.
You got to do it.
So
in
we're
the
going to
Keith
end
Peterson.
up with a phantom knockout for Timmy Cuamba.
Do it in the Keith Peterson voice. I was just in the moment. I was just in the moment.
Are you okay to continue? Are you good to continue? Tell me now.
All right, I have a very random one. Cuamba loses his mouthpiece in the middle of the fight. Like, literally nobody can find it. Lee is a very nice guy. Takes out his mouthpiece and offers it to Cuamba. Cuamba accepts it, puts it in. Everyone's disgusted, but now Lee doesn't have a mouthpiece, so his corner is nice enough and goes to the back to get a new one.
I love how you start with things that really happened and then just snowball them into a Mad Lib. It's perfect. It's perfect. Who was it that's mouthpiece got knocked out and it was stuck between the cage and the mat?
I don't know, but yeah, that's what I was
that
thinking
one?
about. I was like, this has happened before. Mm-hmm. This has absolutely happened. All right, we have Kevin Christian versus Billy Elekana. Congratulations to Billy Elekana, who is part of one of the worst fights that the UFC has ever seen in his last win against Ibo Aslan. We've actually had a pretty stupidly good read on Billy Elekana, believe it or not.
Yep.
I will start with this. People, when you do tape research and you're like, oh, Billy Elekana gassed out against Guskov, and oh, he looked terrible, and you're missing the big piece of context. Mm-hmm. Billy Elekana took that on like a day's notice, and Billy Elekana actually said before the fight, I'm not ready. I'm going to go as hard as I can in round 1, and if I don't get the finish, I'm in trouble. Like, that wasn't verbatim, but that's basically what he said. And guess what? He did pretty good in the first round. He got Guskov down, and then his cardio fell off, and he got choked out. So throw that fight out the window. You cannot take anything away from Billy Elekana in that one. What did we see against Aslan? Aslan wouldn't push the pressure forward. Elekana just kind of struck at range. It was just a very strange, odd fight. Here's what I will tell you, man. Kevin Christian comes from Contender Series. Not this last one. The one way back when. And he's bad, Jim. He is bad. Kevin Christian is bad. He throws wild shots. He has hardly any cardio. The reason he got the triangle armbar was because he was getting his ass kicked and was on the bottom. These wins that he got in LFA and whatever this ride itself or whatever, he's bad. He's long. He's got this reach. If you saw him at the pool without his shirt off, it would take you a million guesses to guess this man was an MMA fighter. Maybe in a year he's really improved. I don't see it. He holds his hands down. He's super hittable. I like Billy Elekana in this one a lot. His stance is so sloppy. I don't know what this man's upside is, and I know that's weird because he's got all these wins, but give me a break. The Boa Vista Combat 4, whatever this thing is, and this jumping knee to the body and punches, again, he's just swinging wild. He's exhausted. He's a Hail Mary fighter. I really would like to take this fight not to go, but based on what I saw in Elekana's last fight, I don't know if we get there. But Kevin Christian is bad. Elekana is the pick for me. What do you think?
I love these spots where you say, I don't know if I'd love to take Billy inside the distance, but I don't know. And this is where I come in. Our discussion.
Okay.
Billy ain't got no choice how this fight is going to be fought. Kevin Christensen fights one way. Like you said, a windmill of punches. Shout out Corbin. It is the windmill of punches and flailing fists and submission attempts. And he is going to come out and he's going to get in Billy's face and he's going to make it a dogfight. The problem is he's going to leave an absolute ton of openings. And Billy is going to catch him at some point in something. I don't know what. Who knows what it could be? Why sit here and try to pretend if we know TKO or sub when a guy's going to be going shooting for doubles? It just don't bother. It's Billy moneyline parlayed. It's Billy by finish. Just finish. Don't pick a side. Kevin Christensen is freaking horrible. Go back and watch his tape, and I haven't seen somebody leave openings like this in a long time. I mean, just a slam dunk. Like you said, it's been a while. I don't expect big improvements. I do think we should watch weigh-ins because it could be very obvious if Kevin Christian is on the juice and not being in the UFC a while.
Oh, that's funny.
We should see these guys. We've seen it.
It's interesting.
Bruno Silva. So keep an eye out for that. Hamdy. So I'm a little worried about that, but skill-wise, it should be Billy Elekana, and we'll look to fade Billy going forward. But he's getting a hand-picked opponent here for him to beat.
All right, what do you have for the weird thing that happens in this fight?
This has to be, absolutely has to be, this is the double knee sleeve. One of the guys, Billy Elekana shows up with the double knee sleeve. And then we find out after the fight that he's got a blown ACL, MCL, and he just had to fight to pay for his surgery since he lost 2 fights in a row. So Billy Elekana goes out there and gets absolutely murdered in the first round by the windmill of Kevin Christian. And it comes out that he passed medicals. By the way, who's doing these medicals? Do we have to talk about the broken hand? We didn't talk about that one.
I forgot to put the broken hand in there.
Don't forget about the blatantly obvious broken hand that got through medicals. There's another one.
All right, so you have Billy Elekana comes out with double knee sleeves, is limping around. Okay, and it tricks everyone. Okay, I have Kevin Christian comes out, the round starts, he's throwing a million punches, he misses all of them, and he swings so hard that his shoulder dislocates. They bring in the doctor is confused, he brings in the wet rag and starts like dabbing the eye. Christian wants to go to the hospital, but a la Kevin Holland, the ref actually puts a padlock on the cage and immediately makes him take 5 minutes. The fight gets called off, and Billy Elekana wins by KO with 0 strikes thrown.
Bravo. Bravo. Andy always makes me feel bad because he does put so much more thought into everything that we do.
All right, we move on to Alan Nascimento and king of the short notice. Mm-hmm. This used to be Charles Johnson, but Cody Durden has absolutely taken over. Cody Durden steps in short notice to take on Alan Nascimento. I'll let you go first. I know where I stand on this fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this real short and sweet here. It's Alan Nascimento, and it's Alan Nascimento by finish. He's an absolute giant. This is short notice for Cody. Cody has been getting worse as this fights go on. I know that he's been in a training camp for a while now, but the methods in which he is losing is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And you could say he went to decision with Joshua Van. If Joshua Van wanted to put it on Cody Durden, he could have. He most certainly could have, and he just didn't. And we've seen that when Josh can pour it on, he can. I'm going to have a lot invested in Nascimento. This is my favorite bet on the card. This guy absolutely bodied Filo, who we just saw look like a world beater. So it's Nascimento for me all day long.
Yeah, it's Nascimento. I can't believe what he did to Filo. We were so excited for that fight, and we were like, man, Filo's a dog, and Nascimento's a dog. And you have a lot of canceled fights here. Listen, if Nascimento's good to go and good to fight, his wrestling isn't great. And it's funny because Cody Durden comes from a wrestling background, and you just don't ever see it, at least not great. I mean, there's a guy whose one win recently is the Matt Schnell. Guy got choked out by Tajir. Bruno Silva knocked him out. Like you said, Josh Van worked him over and then getting knocked out Jose Ochoa. So I'm with you. I think it's Nascimento. This gets to the ground. Nascimento dominates, and Cody Durden's cardio is not that good. I don't care. He's been in camp. He gets tired. So this gets to round 2. He's going to get awfully tired when Nascimento is just ragdolling him on the ground. It's Nascimento all day for me. All right, what's your weird thing?
Oh, this fight's getting canceled. There's no way this gets to the cage. Absolutely no way. Cody Durden comes up short notice, barely makes weight, enough to keep the fight on. So we think we're good to go, right? Nascimento makes weight. Goes back to his hotel room. We hear the old slip and fall. Nascimento steps in some water in the bathroom from cutting weight, cracks his head, and this fight gets canceled. Just a typical UFC situation where the short notice fighter ends up without a fight. Does all the work short notice to get there, and then the guy they brought him in to fight ends up being the one canceled. Cody doesn't have a dance partner Saturday night.
All right, I have Durden is losing, and he just, in the back of his head, he remembers seeing Cyril Gahn go for the double eye poke, so he tries to do the double eye poke on Nascimento. Nascimento's ready and does the Three Stooges block, and when but when Cody comes in, it catches Durden's finger, and Durden breaks his finger, and the ref stops it, so it goes down as a Nascimento KO, completely ruining everybody's Nascimento by submission bet.
Love it.
Completely ruining it.
Smart.
So this is a great gimmick, Jim. I'm proud of you for this. All right, we got our boy Charles Radtke and Danielle Frunza. Shout out to Kelly in Vegas. I tell the story all the time. Kelly texts me, and she's like, do you know a fighter named Charles Radtke? I was like, yes, I do. I was like, why do you ask? She's like, I'm getting my nails done next to his girlfriend. I was like, oh, ask him about when he used the F word, not the F-U-C-K word, the F-A-G word in his post-fight interview. She's like, yeah, she said that wasn't his best moment. So Kelly Vegas, shout out, having her nails done with Charles Radtke. We got Radtke versus Frunza. I will go first here. This is an absolute train wreck. I think this is Radtke all day. This Frunza guy is an absolute maniac. He's right up. He's Dana White's favorite type of fighter because this is a guy that does not stop. He puts on exciting fights, except he's not really that good. When you get your brakes beaten off so bad by McKee, where a doctor has to stop the fight
in round 1.
In round 1, this is McKee who went to splitting with Shitty, went to decision against Lusa. You go back to his first round.
Round 4 with 40-year-old Jim Wallhead.
Jim Wallhead.
Before the ref stepped in, corner stoppage.
Decision against Alex Morano. Like, this is not a guy who's known for his violence here. So McKee gets him out of there, and make no mistake, he was getting his ass kicked on Contender Series. I actually went back and watched it because I see he won by ground and pound. I watched the first round, and I realized I was watching the wrong guy. I was like, doesn't Frunza win? I'm like, oh, he's the one on bottom the whole time. Takedown defense, not great. Striking defense, nowhere to be found. But, boy, he will push forward. He will push the pace. He was getting his ass kicked by McKee, and at the end of round 1, he was still throwing shots. Radtke is listen. He pushes the pace too. Loses a lot. Gets the quick knockout against Sommelsberger. Listen, how are we supposed to know in June 2024 he was fighting Carlos Prates as a title contender? So I don't put that much behind him. This is the curious fight, the one against Blood Diamond, where he just held Blood Diamond up against the fence, and it was his UFC debut. He's
in
probably
Australia.
Just get me just get a win. Just get a win. Since then, he has unleashed the aggression, and it's kill or be killed. Both these guys are kill or be killed. But I think Frunza's strike defense is truly horrific. I have Radtke by KO, but fight not to go the distance is going to be one of my favorite plays. What do you think?
I want to be with you as passionately as you are on Radtke. That Mike Malott fight, I'm almost there, first of all. I'm almost with you. I'm like this close. I'm teetering. It's getting closer during the week.
You don't have to be. We don't have to agree all the time.
I know I don't have to. I agree with you that it's him, but I'm not as bullish. I'd love to see this Mike Malott fight again. That fight never even got going. Radtke fought like an absolute idiot. He leaned into the whole USA versus Canada thing, and what is it about the USA play that never works well for fighters? It puts such unnecessary pressure on you. Cody Durden, Colby Covington, Radtke. Who else has been a thumping?
We got
Bryce Mitchell.
Bryce Mitchell, Josh Hovitt, or whoever the
Josh
guy,
Hogan's going to be the next one.
He's the next guy that's going to try this
fight
bit.
somebody
Yeah.
from Canada who was like born on the border, and he's going to act like he's fighting a commie or something. I God only knows. That's going to be a rich one, right? This guy killed my grandfather in WW1. Like give me a break. It never works out well. It never works out well bringing politics into sports. Anyway, this is going to be an absolute car crash. The striking defense is atrocious for both guys. I firmly believe that Charlie Radtke is a better fighter than what he showed in the Malott fight, and I believe that he's going to show it this fight. That being said, the best bet in this fight is fight doesn't go.
Yeah.
It's just an absolute firefight. I think that Radtke by sub is going to be a really sexy pick. I think it's going to be ground and pound more than anything. Like, Radtke just strikes me as the type he doesn't need to look for a sub. He'll get on the back and just keep on punching till they throw in the towel for Frunza. And it's going to take a good amount because Frunza's tough. I do like Frunza's striking. I think there's something there, but he leaves way too many openings. So I'll go with Radtke as a pick. Fight doesn't go as my favorite.
All right, what's your weird thing?
This fight goes to decision. We almost get a finish in round 1. We almost get a finish in round 2. We almost get a finish in round 3. We have 3 fouls in this fight. A back of the head, a nut shot, and an eye poke. And right when each round is getting going, we're going to get a foul in this fight. And it's going to drag it out and drag it out. After the first foul, if there is a foul in the first round of this fight where they get a break, bet decision live. Right there. We've seen it way too many times. The adrenaline dump is just too much. I hate to pick it that way, but this is the fight that kills everyone on the under.
I have Radtke gets DQ'd for cussing out the ref in between rounds. Something happens and he just loses his mind, and we see the first ever ref DQs him because he said something so offensive to the ref that the ref just stops fighting and cancels it.
Now, which ref is it? So when this fight starts, which ref is it going to be?
Oh, it's Tognoni by a mile. By
It's
a
Tognoni?
mile.
Okay.
He gets his feelings hurt. Mm-hmm. You can't say that. You cannot say that to me. And then
Okay.
And then it turns out he can and does and just continues, and then he gets DQ'd. So, all right, we move on to Isaac Dulgarian, Yadier Valle.
What did Chris Tognoni do to you that you're like, oh, it's definitely Tognoni?
You know what I don't like about him? I'll tell you exactly what I don't like. What I don't like about Tognoni, and it's because I've officiated, of course, not at the level. He touches the athletes way too much. Watch how much he touches the athletes. I have never, ever thought of physically interacting with an athlete unless I'm helping them get up or when I'm coaching the really little kids and it's part of my job to like, when you're when you're refereeing kindergarten basketball, you do have to actually grab the kid and turn him towards the right basket so he can dribble or like show him how to. After that, I have never touched an athlete like Tononi does. If I put it this way, I did NCAA women's lacrosse. What do you think would happen to me if I even remotely physically interacted with an athlete like that? It's uncomfortable. Nobody has ever said anything to him. I just don't like it. There's something really weird about it. I don't think it's cute. There's something about a shtick that I just don't like, and it's the physical contact with the athletes.
You're gonna have me glued to the TV the next Tononi fight now.
Have you not noticed this?
No, I haven't. So we're gonna take a drink every time Tononi.
He touches he touches the fighters more than the guy who checks him for foreign objects coming into the ring. Yes, like I don't like it. Leave in the comments if I'm the only one. Leave in the comments if you notice this too, because it just makes me feel icky and uncomfortable. Probably a nice guy, but I've never, ever seen. Watch the NBA. Tell me if you see anybody putting their arm around LeBron, or it just doesn't happen. That's my thing with Tononi. That's it. All right, we move on. All right, Dulgarian and Valle, what's your take on this one?
I have no idea what to make of this fight. I really don't have a strong opinion. I like Valle, but at 9-0 from Cuba, we have seen these guys from Cuba be pretty legitimate coming through. I mean, there's some fantastic fighters. There's also some fantastic growth hormone in Cuba that they're using. So that's been around since Yoel Romero's upcoming years ago. Dulgarian, great fighter, absolutely atrocious gas tank. This fight has so much parity either way. Anything could happen in this fight, and none of it would surprise me. A Dulgarian decision, 29-28. Dulgarian 30-27. Dulgarian submission. Valle knockout. Round 1, round 2, round 3. Valle decision. When it's a close, nothing is off the table in this fight. I can't get anywhere in a bet. Dulgarian's going to look to wrestle. Valle is going to look to strike. One of these guys is going to end up looking better than the other. The only place that I can land from a betting opportunity is just wait and bet it live. Wait to see what you're going to get from Dulgarian going into round 2, maybe even halfway into round 2. If you can get to the point where going into round 3, you think it's 2-0-1 guy or it's 1-1 and the underdog's got a shot, I think that's where you make your play. But I will have $0 on this fight before it starts. I need to see something.
I'll have dollars on this fight. I'm taking Valle.
Okay.
Here's our write-up. Here's our write-up on him. Again, this was 2024. This is our write-up. And for the record, he did what he was supposed to do, submitted Connor Matthews pretty easily. By far the best performance. That means on this episode. Forward pressure and striking was good. Takedowns good. Looked for submissions. Good ground pound. Awful striking defense. Guess what? You don't really have to worry about that against Dulgarian. A lot of muscle in the arms. Arms can get tired, but solid cardio. Solid clinch work. I really like him in this spot, and I'm getting plus money at the time of recording this. Dulgarian gets tired. He's not the best cardio in the world, and here's the thing. Who did he lose to? Christian Rodriguez. Where's Christian Rodriguez best at? Probably in the clinch and on the ground. Valle's bigger. That's the other thing. Valle's going to be taller and bigger. Can Dulgarian bum rush and get him to the ground? Maybe in the first round. Boy, if Valle wins that first round, yikes. Rut-row raggy if you got to bet on Dulgarian. I think Valle is going to have a lot of problems. His strength is going to cause problems for Dulgarian. Dulgarian's probably faster, but again, for how long? Once that cardio starts to give out, if Valle can make him work, Dulgarian's going to be the one with the cardio issues. I really like Valle. I think he's a live dog in this spot. you're right. Like live betting is probably pretty good, but if I like Del Valle, maybe I wait till the end of round one. If Dulgarian looks really good and uses up all of his energy, I could probably get an awesome plus money play. I got Yadier for sure in this one.
Okay.
All right, what's your weird one?
You're going to hate my weird thing then.
Okay.
This is the Isaac Dulgarian first punch of the fight knockout. just that fake shot to the overhand right. The fight starts and the Valle, instead of being aggressive, is dancing around the outside of the cage. And for the first 40 seconds, all you're saying to yourself is, "Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no!" And then here comes Dulgarian for the shot and throws just an overhand right. And this is one of those Lego guys just crumbling down to the ground knockouts where Valle's just out cold and is never the same after that knockout. And it's round one KO. Isaac Dulgarian blows all the bets out of the water.
I did say Del Valle's got bad striking defense. Maybe it is one and done. All right, I got a great one for this one. The fight's getting ready to start. Cody Durden runs out, asks Dulgarian if he can fight in place of him so he can get one more short notice fight before the UFC cuts him.
I love it. I love it.
Hand is taped up because his fingers broke. All right, we move on to Jeremiah Wells and Temba Gorimbo on the main card. What are we doing here? Jim, why is this on the main card? What is this? And where do you see this fight going?
Well, we were really excited for the end of the year in MMA because this is when we start doing our house cleaning. Apparently, the UFC's house is really dirty because we're not getting these fighters in good matchups. They're just fighting other guys who are on their way out. So
they're fighting each other, aren't they?
Yeah, it kind of sucks this year that we're not getting these slam dunk spots that we had, going into the end of the year. I can't bet Themba Gorimbo. It's just there's no massive improvements in his skill set. He had a ceiling when he came into the UFC. He had all this marketing and money behind him afterwards. We all don't have to go through the whole freaking story, okay? But the bottom line was he beat some guys that are pretty bad. And then once he fought somebody who was washed up but better, he got put down. I have not seen any improvements in Gorimbo's skill set going back to the Brahimaj fight. It looks like the same exact fighter. Now he draws Jeremiah Wells. Jeremiah Wells is no spring chicken. That's the part that worries me a little bit about this fight. Because as we've seen, when these guys get older, it's not gradual. It is a cliff. So we are coming off a loss to Carlson Harris, which he was dominating, and that bum Harris found a way to get a choke in. Couldn't believe that moment. And then he loses the split to Max Griffin. Now, I know it's the Max Griffin does, but you got to win that fight if you want to be legit and considered. They match him up with Nico Price. That fight gets canceled. They match him up with Andreas Gustafsson. That would have been an interesting thing to see, was Gustafsson against him. Now he gets Themba. So who are they trying to fade here? Who is the UFC done with? Are they done with the Themba experience? Or are they getting the old Jeremiah Wells out? I have a suspicion that Jeremiah Wells could be over the hill and done. So I can't bet this full send before the fight starts. I need to see weigh-ins. I need to see what Jeremiah looks like. I might even need to see walkouts. I'm going to pick Jeremiah Wells, but if I get any kind of a hint of he doesn't want to be there or he's not in shape or about retirement, anything with interviews, I am betting the other side because 2 losses in a row at his age in the form that they were, not a good look for Jeremiah Wells. So I'll watch it from there.
Interesting. I have a different take. I mean, you're on Wells. I'm on Wells at plus money too.
Okay.
Think of how different this. Well, first of all, he ain't fighting Themba Gorimbo if he finishes the fight against Carlson Harris. I don't even mean finishes. I mean just gets it to decision where he's going to win 30-27 on all judges' scorecards. Max Griffin, split. One judge changes 1 round, he wins. This could easily be 2-0. Now you're looking at a undefeated run in UFC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights in a row where the 39-year-old could easily be undefeated. Easily. Like you said, he was beating the brakes off of Carlton. The fight wasn't even remotely competitive. Max Griffin, like you said, that's what Max Griffin does. I'm with you. I'm out on Themba. What's the improvements? You know, he loses to AJ Fletcher. We get the big story about he was homeless and it's a great story. They set him up for success against Pete Rodriguez. Then they give him Brahim Maj and Nico Price. I got to tell you, not the most dominating performances. It's a lot of lay and pray, and Luque submits him easily in the first. I got Jeremiah Wells, honestly, maybe by KO. Like, if Themba wants to play the hold him down, fine. May lose it that way. But you're talking about striking, it's Jeremiah Wells all day. Wells is no slouch on the ground. I know he got submitted by Carlson Harris, but he was at least controlling, the bodies. And what have we seen recently, man? Finally, Jim. Finally. Judges are not rewarding these hold guys down and do nothing with it. Jailton Almeida is the perfect example of it. Judges are like, you know what? Enough's enough. I think this sets up bad for them. I get Jeremiah Wells when striking. Don't be surprised if there's a stand-up somewhere in here when Themba's not doing anything with it. The shine is off of Themba. Like, it was a cool story. He's not impressing anybody. I don't know why this is on the main card, but I got Jeremiah Wells at plus money. Wins by striking. All right, what's the weird thing that happens?
I have pegged this fight as my absolute bullshit judge's decision fight.
Oh, this is the one.
This is the one where you're like, wait a second. We get to the final. First judge reads it, 29-28 Wells. Second judge, 30-27 Themba. And you go, uh-oh. The third judge scores it. And we're going to end up with a 20-28 for Jeremiah Wells. But one judge gave the whole fight to Themba Garumba. So Wells is going to win the decision, yet there's 3 judges ringside, and one guy saw an entirely different fight than the other 2. Just to prove that criteria means absolutely nothing, once again, in MMA.
I have that Wells KOs Gorimbo and The Rock repossesses Gorimbo's house. And the,
I knew you
and
were
the story and the story is over. So. All right, we move on to Waldo Cortez Acosta and Ante Delija. Boy, was I thrown off the scent of Delija. We thought he is older, but thought he was going to come out and not look that good against Tabura, and he came out, looked slimmer than ever.
Yeah.
And he looked faster than ever, training with a new camp, training with all-stars. He just absolutely blitzes Tabura, and Tabura has no clue what to do, and he just gets this really emotional win in the UFC, and bang, he's right back to it, man. Mm-hmm. And then you got Waldo Cortez Acosta, who, listen, say what you want about him. He does just kind of win these fights. He did lose against Pavlovich, but give him credit. Spivak, Despain, Arlovsky, Bresky, did what he was supposed to do. He's got a good record in UFC, but interested in your take. We know Ante from the PFL days. Mm-hmm. What's your take on him here in UFC?
Well, here's one thing about Delija that we can go back to the PFL days, and it's shown through, is the guy will not let you just go to decision against him. Delija is about being in your face from the beginning of the fight to the end of the fight. And our whole thing with him against Tabura was we were expecting to see a slower, heavier Delija. He looked physically the best that we've seen him since he won the PFL tournament, however many years ago. I mean, he looked fantastic. Afterwards, it comes out that he's the main training partner of Tom Aspinall.
Yeah.
They're so close that he has no business fighting he doesn't want to fight for the title. If Tom has it, it's one of those situations. And he looks absolutely fantastic. I also think that he got some great doctors from moving over to the UFC. It's just the reality of the sport right now, guys. He's not going to let Acosta just stay on the outside and jab and all this stuff. Here's my hot take. There 1,000% will be an eye poke situation in this fight.
Oh, both these guys. That's
This
a
is
great
the
call.
one.
That's a
This
great
is
call.
the one where Acosta's jabbing and putting his hand out. This will be an eye poke situation. I'm going with Delija. I don't know if he finishes Acosta, but I think he's way better all around as a skill set. And if I see the speed that I saw the last fight, he'll be able to keep up with Acosta in the speed realm. And I just think Acosta's a bit too one-dimensional of a fighter.
Tough one. Because, yeah, you're like, oh, it's Delija. Fight doesn't go. Acosta's the king of making fights go the distance. Like, it's like, oh, what Delija comes out and, like, sparks him early. Acosta doesn't get really sparked. And it's like, well, Delija, he's had cardio issues. Well, does Acosta the guy that really pushes the pace? This is a really, really tough fight for me. It's going to be a stay away. We had bet on Tabura, and then when I see what Delija looks out and is like, oh, he's the main training partner for Tom Aspinall, I was like, yeah, we are so screwed on this one. So I can't get there to anything. I'm not going to recommend anything because I have no strong opinion on this whatsoever. If Delija wins, it's probably finish. If Acosta wins, it's probably a decision. So, all right, there you go. You like Acosta, take him to win by decision. You like Delija, take him to win by KO. I can't get there on anything. I'm completely lost on this fight. So it's a complete stay away. I won't have a penny on this one. All right, what's your weird thing? This is do you go in the eye poke or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So round one, Waldo Acosta, bad eye poke to Delija, right? Bad eye poke. Delija, just a G, is like, I gotta fight through this. I'm not quitting. You can obviously see it's bothering him. Stands up. Fight starts again. Oh no! Before fight starts, referee decides now's the time. Right? Takes a point from Acosta right out the gate. Yes, this is what we wanted. Justice for the guy who gets eye poked, right? Fight starts again. Delia's obviously compromised. Gets knocked the fuck out by Acosta.
I like
Proving
it.
again that when you're compromised, don't continue to fight. So even with the point taken, it solves nothing. That's
All right. Okay. All right. My weird thing, Delija wins. Post-fight interview, they ask who he wants to fight next. He's emotional. He forgets he's in UFC, and he calls out Dennis Goltsov. The UFC signs Goltsov to a one-fight deal. Goltsov wins. The UFC cuts Delija and keeps Goltsov.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
All right, we go to the main event, and then we're going to do the Parlay Buster and the Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. We got Steve Garcia and David Onama. Going to you first. What do you think?
Well, we're freewheeling on Steve Garcia. Made plenty of money on Steve Garcia, so I'm not changing my tune now. Steve Garcia, by knockout. By finish. Just not changing my tune. The guy hits so damn hard. And I know David Onama is this physical freak, but when Steve Garcia touches people, they go to sleep. They just go to sleep. Calvin Kattar, notoriously tough. Proved it in that fight. But Garcia did the thing. I think Garcia's good to parlay. The only thing I would worry is that if he gets hit with the shot of Onama, but that's going to be gone after round one. Like, the power is going to be gone from both guys. This is another fight where if it goes over 1.5, you're pretty much taking fight to go. I think we're going to end up with two tired guys at that point. To me, it's Garcia. Stick with it. Keep riding it. We made a ton of money on Garcia and a ton of money on Garcia by finish. I just think the guy's got the death touch. And what I love is that we've seen him be able to get on top of people as well and move. We learned a lot from that Kattar fight. That was a big spot for that kid. And I think we saw exactly what we needed to see for a future title contender.
Yeah, this run Garcia's on, it was just like, man, you're going to lose to Luis Pena. And you beat Oliveira, but then you got knocked out by Ashate. And then it's just been win after win after win. And Calvin Kattar's good on the feet. Like he's he's a good striker. He can move. So I don't think there was no shame in not knocking out Kattar. So here's the thing. Onama, you go back to his... I don't care about him beating Roberto Romero. Jonathan Pierce, that is a good win, but Jonathan Pierce has just really sucked. Gabriel Santos, whatever. Losing to Landwehr in that insane
great fight.
Yeah. It's this Giga fight where he takes Giga down. And Giga's, the kickboxer, but Onama just takes him down and grinds out some wins. This reminds me a little bit, like, Giga to me looked done in that fight. Like, Giga was like, okay, my best days are behind him. So, Garcia, I really think he's going to be the much better striker all 3 rounds. Can he stuff those takedowns, or can Onama get him down? I didn't think Onama's takedowns on Giga were that impressive. I think they're pretty easily stoppable. I don't think Garcia has to work too hard to stop him. Like, Onama's going to have to chain wrestle to really get Garcia from, getting out of the mindset of striking. And I don't think Onama can do it. I think he shoots a couple, and even if he gets one and Garcia gets up, eventually I'm with you that Garcia ends up getting the big one. Onama's super tough. We've seen it. But, yeah, Garcia's next levels of one-hitter quitter. So I'm rolling with Garcia again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We said, Kyle Nelson, super tough, durable, bang, out. Milky Costa should be a great fight. Milky's going to get bang, out. He's nuking guys. And, like we said, Cater's the guy, the boxer that dances on the outside, and that's just not Onama's game. So wouldn't surprise me if Onama gets knocked out shooting in on a takedown, but I'm with you. Not overthinking it. Taking Steve Garcia. Probably taking Steve Garcia by finish. So, all right, what's your weird thing?
Steve
Tough
Garcia comes out. In a 5-round fight, Steve Garcia says, you know what? If I want to get to a title, I got to be able to win these 5-round fights. And I got to win it with my cage control. And this ends up being an absolute garbage main event of Steve Garcia holding David Onama against the fence and kneeing him in the thigh. And we get to round 4, and we're all sitting here after watching it for hours, just falling asleep, saying how this is the worst series of main events as far as UFC goes in a long time. I really don't put it past this main event to become a stinker. I hope. Get us out of this, Steve. Be the Steve Garcia we love and do this right, please. But it'll be Steve Garcia by cage clinch unanimous decision.
Okay, that's a good one. All right, I have that James Krause and Terry Rozier walk out with David Onama, and Steve Garcia wins by Peruvian necktie.
Coincidentally.
Yes, I have. Terry Rozier's looking for things to do, calls his buddy Krause. They get together with David Onama. All of a sudden, there's a neck from Onama being stuck out there, and Garcia with his first ever Peruvian necktie win.
Books take a landslide of money on Peruvian necktie.
Peruvian necktie round 4. Just like,
oh, yeah, there you go.
All right, time for Parlay Buster. Hit the like button, guys. If you guys could do us a favor, hit the like button. Tell us what you like below. Give us a weird thing that will happen in a fight. This has been a lot of fun. Give us something weird that's going to happen in the comment section, or tell us your best bet. But make sure you hit the like button, and make sure you subscribe to the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel. Slowly building this thing up. We haven't run any ads or anything. It's all organic. It's all because of you guys. So appreciate you all for joining in with us. All right, let's do Parlay Buster, Jim. What's your parlay that's going to blow everyone's parlays?
I can't believe that this guy's the favorite, or as big of a favorite. So if we're looking at the main event, what do people always do with parlays? They try to link them throughout the night. So it'll be something early in the card, maybe it'll win.
Oh, okay.
And then you have a bet later on. I just keep staring at Isaac Dulgarian at minus 270 when you can pencil in that he'll be the more tired fighter in round 3. That is absolute career suicide from a gambling perspective, is to lay minus 270, parlay it up on a guy who fades in fights in big situations. I'm sticking with Isaac Dulgarian. That number's insane.
Yeah, that was going to be mine for sure. I will. Yeah, that was going to be mine. I'm just going to tail you on that one because I had that one pegged from the very beginning. So, all right, we move to woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is the bet where at the end of the night we're like, man, why didn't we bet more money on that one? What's the one that you're going to wish you bet more money on?
You're gonna hate me for this probably, but I'm going to say it anyway. Alice Ardelean by TKO or submission at plus 225.
Oh, by finish. This is good.
This girl's been finished in 2 fights. She's fighting somebody, a women's fighter.
No, she's been finishing
finished.
3 straight, Jim. I'm gonna
Three
correct
straight
you.
fights. 3. It's a woman's fighter. 3 finishes. Wrap your head around that. How many times do you get like, oh, well, they've been finished. Everybody bets this. Make it go over. To see a woman's fighter get finished 3 times in a row, I just can't look past. I can't look past. Plus 225. Oh, I'll hate myself. I'll hate myself in the morning.
I'm going to go Dante Johnson by KO and Cedric Dumas. This is a Dumas who, listen, he got knocked out by Olga Sacek, and he got knocked out by Rizemboyev. Eye poke, whatever. Zach Reese couldn't finish the fight. This guy's a walking, not going the distance. Not great cardio. Durability doesn't seem to be there. And Dante Johnson just has all the it factor going with him. And the biggest thing is, of the fighters on this card, is there a guy that they want to get rid of more than Cedric Dumas? You got to believe that they're just like, please get this guy out of here. We don't want to be in the Cedric Dumas, and they just keep giving him fights where he should get finished. They just need one more. So Dante Johnson, you were brought in for one job. You got your Contender Series contract for one job, and that's to get Cedric Dumas out of here. So
he very much is like a mercenary in this fight. It's a great analogy there.
They cut Hamdy after a dominant win.
You want to get in Dana's good graces? There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely.
They'll give you Dennis Tallulah next if you knock him out now.
We got a list for you, Dante. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate it. Again, leave a comment in the comments section. Tell us the fight and what's the weird thing you think's going to happen in the comments section. Good luck on all your plays. UFC best bet is up. NFL Week 9 props pack is up. Go grab those. Good luck on your bets. Take care.
See you guys.